This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, September the 3rd. So glad you could join us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Barbadians are generally satisfied with the performance of the Mayor Motley government. It's just over 100 days ago that Barbadians gave the Barbados Labour Party an unprecedented mandate to govern the country for the next 5 years. And today our news team was on the streets to get the pulse of the people. And for the most part, Motley and her team got the thumbs up.
Well, they're doing their best. They could only do their best. Well, everything takes time. You can't rush into nothing. Everything takes time. You come, you have to take time before you do anything.
I think they're doing a good job because they're giving more information within the past 3 months than we had in the past 10 years. And I wish them all the best because I want my country to come back up from where it is now.
I think that she did what she said she would do in the manifesto. She dealt with the sewage system, seemed to get it under control and it's working. It's not quite finished, but she's working on it. She said she would give the civil servants a raise, 10% raise, and the pensioners a raise. She did that. She said she would enact the legislation concerning, what do you call that now? There's legislation concerning corruption and so forth, and integrity legislation, and she's working on that. She tried to be honest with the public and tried to make sure that the public know aware of what's going on. And she has let us know that the country in a bad state, and she brought in the IMF, and she's keeping abreast of what's going on. And I think that she is on the right track. But opposition Senator Caswell Franklin, he's not bowled over by the government's performance. In fact, he suggests the Mayor Motley administration has failed, charging that Barbadians have been forced to endure more hardship.
This administration is characterized by giving the appointment to something and have done absolutely nothing really. They're going to take off the NSRL, but then they put on more taxes than the NSRL was collecting. So I don't know what they're doing. They have a lot of goodwill, but they're abusing it. That is what is happening in the country today with this government. And all they have done really is secure jobs for the people who were integral to the campaign.
In other news now, commuters can expect some relief from the vexing transportation woes in the country. Government is making moves to boost its partnership with private transport operators to provide services to poorly serviced routes. At a meeting with the operators and owners of public service vehicles yesterday, Chairman of the Transport Authority, Ian Esvict, revealed that the plan will roll out in the coming weeks.
We are also aware that many commuters are facing hardship in going about their business due to the shortage of transport board buses on certain routes. The Transport Authority is working to alleviate this situation shortly by relocating some PSVs to those affected routes. In fact, some owners have already indicated a willingness to transfer to those routes, but we need more vehicles, and therefore will transfer additional PSVs from the more saturated routes in the coming weeks.
Esvict made the announcement as he outlined improvements to the operations in the Constitution River Terminal, which will be officially opened the second time on Saturday. He revealed that commuters may soon be using their smartphones to access public transport.
We will also be shortly offering commuters smart tickets, which will be available in single or multi-use forms and via an app on cell phones. We will embrace the use of relevant technology at every level of the public transportation sector, once we are satisfied that it will benefit the owners and operators of PSVs, the traveling public, and the Transport Authority.
Barbadians could be getting some assistance to fix old transport board buses. Cuba has offered to provide a team of mechanical and electrical experts to inspect and evaluate old bus engines to assess how many can be restored. Cuban Ambassador Francisco Fernandez Pena made the proposal, which he said would also include training during a recent courtesy visit to Transport and Works Minister Dr. William Duguid. A delighted Dr. Duguid said the ministry will initially focus on repairing 4-cylinder bus engines. Meanwhile, the Cuban ambassador also offered the assistance of a second team to help assess and prevent soil erosion in the Scotland district, particularly White Hill, St. Andrew.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. The new school term got off to a rocky start today in Guyana. Some teachers stayed away from classrooms in support of demands made by the Guyana Teachers Union for a 40% salary increase. Teachers picketed outside the Ministry of Education, even as the government maintained that schools across the country would remain open. The union says teachers will return to classes tomorrow and then return to the picket line for the remaining days of the week if the matter is not settled. And on the international scene, a judge in Myanmar today found 2 Reuters journalists guilty of breaching a law on state secrets. They were jailed for 7 years. More in this report.
It's a case that's widely seen as a test of progress towards democracy in Myanmar. The judge ruled the 2 reporters breached the Official Secrets Act, a colonial-era law, when they handled documents related to security forces. At the time of their arrest, the 2 had been working on an investigation into the killings of 10 Rohingya by troops and Buddhist civilians in Rakhine State. In testimony, the reporters had said 2 policemen handed them papers at a restaurant in December, moments before other officers arrested them. One police witness testified it was a setup to entrap the journalists to block or punish them for their reporting into the massacre. The verdict had been postponed for a week because the judge was sick. Monday's decision means that after 10 months behind bars, they will remain in jail, kept from their families. Cho So-u has a 3-year-old daughter, and Wallon's wife gave birth to their first child last month. Reuters Asia editor Kevin Krolicky called the verdict a dark moment and a deeply disappointing result.
Anyone who's followed this trial will understand that by any impartial standard, by any fair standard, this trial established the innocence of Wallon and Cho So-u.
A Myanmar government spokesman did not respond to requests for comment on Monday's verdict. He had mostly declined to comment throughout the proceedings, saying Myanmar's courts were independent and the case would be conducted according to law.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now, you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.